What's good, everybody? This is Y and Z conversation between the generations. Generations Y, aka the millennials, represented by myself, Jay Clark, my whippersnapper over there, the young blood, Gen
Yeah.
Z, David
What's good
Lewis.
with it? What's good with it? I'm sorry. I was about
Okay.
to keep my phone on. I had to turn it on silent.
Booty calls.
No.
Hey, you're a young man. Live it up. Enjoy the freedom that comes with no rings.
Yeah, man, it'd be all right. Well, how you been, brother?
Good adulting, just working these jobs, trying to make some decisions, figure out life, all that good stuff. Raise a young one. What
Yeah,
that
man. You know, you a pops out here, man. You an OG now.
responsibilities, which suck. Like, share, subscribe. YZ the divide. You got to take. Hit us with it. Young blood. Are you choosing violence this week? You seeking insight this week? What you got?
Oh
What you
no, we choosing violence.
okay.
We choosing violence. And you know, I think it's a very picky area when it comes to I think you know, say picky. I think you know, for the most part, over all generations, we
hmm
have our favorite black sitcoms, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I
Okay.
think we all got it or whatever. But you know, I got a top five. You got a top five. We got some honorable mentions. I think we could throw out there. You
hmm
know, so I want to get into it today about that. You know, just see where your head at, where my head at. Let's see who probably got the better, starting five. You know what I'm saying?
So we get into the verses early, which is perfect. Fall is on the way. Back in the day, this used to represent, start of school and the
New
start of the new TV
seasons.
seasons. Yeah, you don't know nothing
Yeah.
about that. But
I don't know nothing about
you don't know
that.
nothing about that. You don't know nothing about that. Anyway,
Season premieres will be in August, September, October.
October was late. October was late.
If you
Like,
started a season in October, it was pretty late. But
and that
that
was only
August,
because of football.
September,
And that was only because of football. Like Fox was generally the one that had to you would take a break because
yeah.
football season and probably all that kind of stuff. But okay, so we go on this draft style. So no, your picks, my picks, no simultaneous ones. We just
None.
okay. Am I going first or are you going first?
I'm gonna let the old guy go
I feel
first.
like you probably need to go first because you need any kind of advantage you can get.
Any kind of
Yeah,
advantage.
I'm gonna give you free reign. So I'm gonna let the age go before the beauty. So go ahead, sir.
All right. So let's start off with one honorable mention. Let's do that first.
No. You got to say them last because you don't know if your honorable mention might be one that I want to take. So you got to.
Exactly.
So no. We get into your top five first, and then we
All
can.
right, all right, all right. Okay. This is gonna show my age a little bit, but I think this show is 10 out of 10. Yes, it's newer, but in the scope of black sitcoms, I gotta put it up there. And that's Abbott Elementary. That's no
It is
particular order.
a bit of black sitcom.
So you wouldn't consider Abbott a black sitcom?
It's black leaning, but I don't know if I will consider Abbott a black sitcom. I don't know if that qualifies.
Hmm. Okay, I
Heavy,
can go a
heavy,
different direction.
heavy black presence, but I don't know if that's
If you okay, that's a
like
okay.
since you brought up Abbott. Abbott represents, I think, what you want to see. Like there's black people.
Right,
It's
right.
everything. So you wouldn't claim that one. It's just black people getting a shot on that one. So
Okay. Well, this is not my number one, but I'll put it in my top five. And this is gonna be only because, and let me say this. Let me start off with this. Don't get me wrong, her role in another black sitcom was really good. But I feel like her acting, her presence in this black sitcom was better, which is why it pulls it over for me. And that's My Wife and Kids. My Wife and Kids is a top five black sitcom.
not mad at you. Very
Damon Wayans is hilarious. Tashina, I like her role in this black sitcom better than I like it in the other one that she's most known for. Dead serious. Dead serious.
not a bad
Yep.
pick. Okay. But just because I don't know what strategy you bringing into this, I'm gonna come just bring the bat and come upside your head. Number one, a different world.
Okay. I mean, I think nobody can argue that. I don't think anybody can argue that only because the alone from just the show itself, the impact it made on a whole generation to want to go to college.
I don't think there's any show, any black sitcom There's one that might be close, but I really don't think there's anyone that had as much impact as that show. Now, did you see they gonna bring it back on Netflix possibly? The reboot.
Really, I did not see that.
So yeah, it's a story dropped. I think it was either this week or late last week that Netflix is looking to do a I guess I don't know what you want to call it, but they're gonna bring back a different world and focus on the daughter who of Whitney of I mean Whitley and Dwayne, who is now a student at Hillman. I
Dwayne, Dwayne.
they need to set it up right because we're a little
Of,
past that
they-
point.
of course, they need to set it up right. It's very interesting to, if anything, I would have just preferred to see them do like a reboot in this present day and time.
I'm cool with the daughter aspect, but you gotta time it right. She was pregnant when the show ended in '93.
Got you. Yeah.
You can't do a show 21 years and that's if it was to air this year, so let's at least put it next year. You can't do a show 22 years later about a freshman
Right.
unless
You're talking about continuity purposes.
right, unless they have multiple children and this is one of the younger ones or whatever, or for whatever reason, maybe she's going back to school late like Jaleesa did. Who knows? But you got to
Or I
set it
mean,
up
maybe
right.
they could just do it. They could do it set where she going into her freshman year of college.
So
That
back
gives
in,
them the
so
advantage of
back in 2018,
right. That gives them the advantage of knowing everything historically that's going to happen.
you're not going to do that. You don't have a show. Then here's your problem. Then you don't have a show because you know what wall you're running into her junior year, which is going to kill the show.
It's not going to kill the show. It does set up for some very interesting storylines. It does set up for some very interesting story. Kill the show, maybe not, but set up for some interesting storylines. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wall I wouldn't want to do. But anyways, so yeah, that's my first pick. So we got my wife and kids for you so far in a different world for me. What else you got, sir?
All
I'm
righty.
smart.
And
I'm
I know I'm
smart.
stealing this from you because I know how you feel about this show. And I'd say that, just give an explanation of this pick and why I'm choosing it. This show is pop culture wrapped up in one black sitcom. And
Mhm.
it showed you a different kind of black sitcom at the time because we weren't necessarily getting this portrayal of black people in this environment before this heavily.
Mhm.
And you know what I'm about to say, don't you?
Actually, I don't. I feel like you
Really?
a couple ways.
Oh, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Damn it.
Yeah. You didn't see black people displayed in wealth in mass in black sitcoms before the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was really good to see a Carlton on screen, like see that kind of black person, because even the black sitcoms coming up until then, and I won't talk too much because one of them is going to be on my list,
Okay.
but we kind of just saw the normal black life, somebody living in maybe like a in city life or maybe like a country style life or something like that. But we just never saw like the Bel Air side. And I think that was a great introduction to, bringing in that side of black sitcom.
Damn you. That's a
Oh yeah.
damn you. Okay.
That's what we're going for. That's what we're going for.
I don't want to do it to you, but I have to because I'm just going for the best top five period, and it's to drop the Cosby Show on you. Like, bam. Regardless of how you feel about Bill, you can't deny, and
The
especially
Cosby Show.
the tag team tandem of Cosby Show, Different World. Yeah, you ain't got nothing for that. Like that, literally, what you said about Fresh Prince could almost be said about the Cosby Show, although two different eras. And I think Fresh Prince leaned more into some of the opulence because, like, you kind of you understand the Huxtables are rich,
Yeah.
but it's not like we are a rich family. No, we're just
Right.
so yeah, like two of
Okay.
probably the most impactful of all
At
time.
that. At that.
Okay.
It did. You're right. It was a catalyst for like a change in style, very, very much so. Okay, I'm not mad at that. Okay, so we rocking with a different world.
Well, also know what I appreciate, which what Cosby Show did was we don't see a lot, and what '90s sitcoms did, which we really don't see a lot nowadays, is that generational bridge. And what I mean from that is a lot of black sitcoms back in the day would put older black stars or black people that you knew, they'd bring them into that world. So like with Cosby
Right.
Show, BB King, Sammy Davis Jr.,
Right.
like people that's like, oh, like these are stars, and we're paying respect to elders of a previous era that you don't see happen now. And I don't know whether that's because we know the previous era was so underrepresented that you don't need to do it like you need to do it now. But you still kind of like to see, I would like to see that happen more so now, even though we don't really have as many quote unquote mainstream black sitcoms. You still would like to see that to where it's like kind of like, yeah, we're still paying respect to what came before and who came before, like a Cosby Show, like a Different World, like Fresh Prince,
Yeah.
and many others did during their day.
I'm not mad at that explanation or like, what you just said. I think that's something that the Cosby Show did very well. You like you said, it really, really bridged that gap. All right, I'm coming back out.
This is where it gets interesting now.
All right, I'm going old school. And this just has a very personal feel in my heart. This is something that I grew up and I was able to bond with my dad over, my uncles, my grandparents. Like, I still have lines of this show in my head that I
Mm-hmm.
probably should not know at 22 years old. And that is Sanford and Son.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Sanford and Son is just a part of that golden age of black sitcoms. The first ones coming out.
That's the first real
'Cause
wave. Yeah,
yeah, that Sanford and Son, Good Times, the Jeffersons. That first, like you said, this is the first time we're seeing representation in mass. Well, not even in mass. It's still
on the
spotted, but
mainstream.
on the mainstream
Yeah.
television. And just seeing that on the main screen, man. Who you calling a dummy? Dummy? I've heard that in my life many more times than I should. But it just holds a personal there, and I could not help but to put that in my top five. The storylines, it was just and even then, what a big thing was then, it was new to have multi-episode storylines, and you saw that a few times
Sparingly. Yeah.
in Sanford and Son, and that was fire. Just seeing all of that, and I mean, still to this day, I don't see how Lamont was supposed to be in his 20s in that show. Maybe that's what 20-year-olds was supposed to look like back then. But it is what it is. And like you said, even in that sense, it attempts to, for that age group, attempt to be like a bridging of gaps of some sorts or something like that, a father and son
Well,
show.
everybody had to watch it. So
Right, right.
okay,
So yeah.
okay, you got some taste. We doing black TV shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, another bazooka then. In living
Ah!
color.
Ah!
Like,
Yes, 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 yes. Oh,
when you talk about iconic,
that's a
defining, uh, this show launched the career of a white man. That's how good of it. Like Jim Carrey is Jim Carrey because of In Living Color, a black show. Like that's In Living Color gave us the Super Bowl halftime show. In Living, like these are things not even associated with the show. It's just what the impact of what it did. Um, and when you talk about just that blending of like kind of what you referenced during Fresh Prince, that blending and reflection of culture. When you're talking early '90s and the incorporation of hip hop and the Fly Girls and just the way they were the comedy that they were putting forth, you know, ranking on classic old school tropes
In
and
Living
current
Color. That's
trends
such
at
a
the
good.
time.
That's
Like it's
such a
one of
good
those
pick.
like there has never been, there never was, and yet to really be anything like In Living Color.
No, and I don't even think that they've tried to mimic it. It just it's untouchable. It
You
literally
had some attempts. You had like Mad TV during the '90s. Like you had some attempts of that trope group.
right.
It's essentially that's what SNL is, but just the execution and the way they push boundaries and for it to be a black show. Like that's a black show, even though it had white actors and actresses participating.
Oh,
That's
that's a
definitely a
good show.
black show. Yeah. Number four. Getting mollywopped right now, sir. I think I
Yeah, that in living color kind of that's a doozy. That's a doozy. Not even gonna hold you. Not even gonna hold you. I'm debating. I'm debating, but
I
I
know. You see how
think
he has to look at a list. I'm just
I am because
the
I had to. You
reference.
you took two of my picks. Let's just start that off right there.
It's like spades. You got to play the hand, boy. You got to know when to drop.
I don't think you're gonna pick this one, but I think it's still worthy to be in anybody's top five. Uh, and I want to put this here because I consider it the best black sitcom spinoff of all time. I don't think there was another more successful spinoff to where people disassociate the main show from it altogether. And that's
Um,
the Parkers.
okay, I thought that's where you're going. Interesting way of phrase that again about the
It's one of the
spinoff part.
best black spinoff sitcoms of all time.
I have to push back a little bit there.
Who would you Okay, give me a ballpark of who else would be in that arena.
Different world.
True.
And now, granted, it's a short list. Like, because literally you have
It
a
is.
different world, the Parkers, Grownish.
Grownish, right?
That's literally it, right? In terms of a spinoff from a black show.
Right. To
That's
another black show.
that's
No, that's
literally it.
right.
I think.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So, but no, I'm not mad at Parker's. I mean, it's not one of my favorites. I wasn't a
Because Family Matters wasn't a spinoff from a black show. It
the
was a
majority of the other
spinoff
ones
from
are
a
spinoffs from white shows. Family
right,
Matters,
right, right. That's right. That's right.
um, Good Times is a spinoff
Right.
from a white show. But the majority of them are spinoff from white shows. But yeah, Parker's. It's not one of my favorites. I'm
I
not.
know it's not one of your favorites.
I
That's
can't
how I
deny
knew.
the
I didn't
impact
feel
of it.
like I was gonna be taking this from your
Yeah,
list in any kind of way.
I can't deny the impact. Like that is a that's
And
a
even
solid.
then, I think great representation in the show as well. You
Yeah,
got a mama and a daughter both attending college at the same time.
that don't fit
Monique,
traditional stereotypes either. Like that,
right?
just being honest.
Monique,
Yeah,
that lady right there. Professor Ogilvy. I knew what Alizé was before I should have known what Alizé was.
yeah. I can't trash the show, but yeah, it just I don't have a love for it. I really don't. It's just one of those like yeah. If it's all if there's nothing else on, maybe
But
maybe.
you ain't watching Moesha either, though.
I watched Moesha younger. Moesha is one of those ones that aged terribly. Um, we'll come back to. Well, I mean, yeah, Moesha aged just
Horrible.
poorly.
The
I'll
best thing
throw
about the show is the theme song.
I'll throw Family Matters in there too. I assume you're probably not going to pick Family Matters.
No, I'm not. I wasn't.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
Family Matters is one that aged. Family Matters is an interesting one because it aged horribly, but it is so 90s.
Right, right. I
Like,
think I think it's still a staple in the '90s, but it still was like over time. This just isn't as good as I originally took it in as.
well, I don't think anybody's going to proclaim it like the best thing of all time. Like, but like
Right, right,
because especially when you look at like Moesha and Family Matters, like Moesha was kind of looked at a little more seriously than Family Matters, but just the way they did it aged horribly. But when you look at a show like Family Matters, like even though it jumped the shark and went crazy and has aged horribly, it still is like, but this is what the 90s was. 90s
yeah,
shows did this. And so it fits right in. And so while that might not work today, it's like understands like, yeah, like this is still it balances a fine line. Family Matters
yeah.
does. Like,
I,
but
I understand what you're saying on that, and I can agree with that. Like you said, it balances a fine line, and then it almost gets into that mindset of did the person become bigger than the show?
oh yeah, no, that's I mean, when you think when you talk 90s black sitcoms, your top three in a mainstream perspective are easily Fresh Prince, Family Matters, and my number four, Martin.
See, this is what I be talking about. And I wasn't, and this is just me. This is just me. This is just me. I'm just not the biggest Martin fan. Not denying how great the show is. Because you could sit down and watch Martin for hours on end. The show is just that good. Like literally, but I'm just not the biggest Martin fan.
Martin's just when I want some laughs. I Martin's a show. The plot don't mean a damn thing.
Exactly.
I'm here for the jokes and the laughs, and literally, like it is the true definition of a situational comedy. Just
Exactly.
the ridiculousness and the bits that they did. Like everybody knows that ain't no damn puppy. Everybody knows the New Jack City spoof with the stuffed dog. Like Martin is one of those shows I love to watch to see when is the cast breaking because it's
Right, right.
on
I get you on
tape.
that one.
It is on tape, and that's what it's like. Again, such a so 90s thing. Like that would never
Tommy
fly
Davidson
today.
Jr. on there playing the Varnell show.
Right,
What
Barnell
happened?
Hill.
Oh my God.
You know,
That joke was crazy.
it's one of those like I said, like for me the difference between Martin and Fresh Prince is I cared more about the like I can tell you Fresh Prince stories. I can tell you the trajectory, episodic story, like as a
Yeah.
whole. I Martin is simply I'm just here for the laughs and enjoying it. Like there are certain
And I
arcs
think
that
that's
you know, but yeah, as a whole, it's all about the
and to
characters.
make people care about that kind of story, I mean, that kind of lack of storyline, it's very good. I mean, it speaks well to how well he can entertain. Like, he doesn't have to have a storyline. It goes from episode to episode. That's it. That's all. And you know, you're going to sit here in this 30-minute time window and laugh your butt off.
Mm-hmm. Already, sir.
All
Final
right.
pick. It might not be a blowout, but you down big. And there is no
Here we
big joker
go.
for you to pull out. But what you got for number 5?
I gotta do it something more modern because this is a very big part of my childhood, like watching new episodes as it came out, and I gotta give it to Tyler Perry for this one. I gotta give it to House of Pain. While that might set me back, it might set me back big time, depending on what you pick for your number 5.
Oh, it's setting you back, period. Like,
But House of Pain, man, it's just good. The whole storyline of Janine being a crackhead, it's just no better telling that whole delicious. It was just really good, just
I
really
mean,
good.
I'll give it its accolade because it's like the longest running one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I'll give Tyler Perry his accolades for that. But we all know the criticisms against Tyler Perry. Um, do I have hate for the show? No. Have I sat here and watched every episode? No. Do I care to? No. You
man.
know,
But this is something that I was watching growing up, and
which
we
I get.
watched
I
new
get.
episodes.
That is because
So
in that era there wasn't like that was it, right?
yeah, Tyler Perry on TBS. That's
That was
that's
it.
that's all you was really getting as far as black TV.
Yeah, that was it. So it was filling a hole during the time. How well, that's up to your judgment. But okay. So your top 5 is uh, House of Pain.
I don't know. Hold up, pause, because I'm gonna flip this around. I'm sorry.
The order doesn't matter. It's just the collection. So
Oh
House of
no, no,
Pain.
no. I'm gonna swap one out. I'm gonna swap one out.
Oh, you going back? Oh, you going back? Okay.
I'm gonna do it. Go back. I'm
Because
gonna
you
take
get
House of
whooped so
Pain out.
bad,
House of Pain.
I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it.
House of Pain is like an honorable mention if I'm being real.
Okay, good
When I
census.
think about the other show that I would put in there, and
Okay,
that's the Jamie Foxx show. The Jamie Foxx show, I like. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Because I see your face.
no. Go ahead.
The Jamie Foxx show, I like it better than Martin, and I'm gonna tell you why. Oh, that's whoa. Only because Jamie Foxx can sing. I have no other explanation as to why I like the Jamie Foxx show more, other than the fact that he's a singer. He's a musician. It made the show better to me.
The poor reason why. I'll help you make your argument a little bit though. Um, as a teenage boy, there were a few better shows with such a fine female lead, Garcelle, playing fancy, who just seemed to never want to wear a bra on the show, which has only been highlighted by HD. I'm just like, what was wardrobe thinking? But anyway, Jamie Foxx definitely fit into the pantheon of, again, kind of like we talked about earlier, bringing people on, showcasing talents.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made space on that show for the singing and stuff, which was probably one of the best aspects of the show. There was the roster of singers who came through that show is ridiculous. Because it's funny. I just caught the series finale on Bounce the other day, the wedding
Yeah.
episode. And so yeah, you had Gladys Knight, Gerald Levert singing there.
I'm telling
You know,
you,
Mary J.
the
Blige made
guest
an appearance
stars
with Ron
is what you
Isley.
turned into, is what you tuned into for the Jamie Foxx show. You tuned in for the guest stars to get 3 or 4 minutes of a performance on regular TV.
All right, here's the hot take. Here's the hot take. Songs made for the Jamie Foxx show were better than some of the trash your generation's artists are putting out right now.
Oh, 10 out of 10.
You
Oh,
are smart.
I
You
can
are
get
smart.
behind that.
Like I was like,
I can get behind that.
TV show songs better than the stuff that's being dropped for actual commercial consumption nowadays. It's just
I'm not even gonna get mad at that because it's true. It's true. It's
okay.
sad, but true.
That's a little redemption for your number 5. Okay, so your 5 is Jamie Foxx show, um, Fresh
Sanford and
Prince,
Son,
Sanford and Son.
Fresh Prince,
What were your other two?
the Parkers.
Parker's, My Wife and
My
Kids,
wife and kids.
and My Wife and
Yeah,
Kids.
okay.
Okay,
Right.
that is
We both got it at the same time.
yeah. That's not a bad top 5. Not bad. Like you got good taste. Hand clap to you. Let me round out. Let me round out
hit me out the park. I'm gonna tell you when I knew you hit me out the park. The In Living Color
Oh yeah,
and A Different World combo.
and I'm not even done. Here's number 5. So my 5 is Different World, Cosby Show, In Living Color, Martin, and Blackish. Like Blackish simply because of what it did with some of its standouts. Like we all know the Juneteenth episode. We all know the Obama. Like Blackish had some highs in an era where that wasn't happening.
I gotta give it. I gotta give it to you.
Like Blackish being a modern era sitcom brought back some of the elements from what we'll call the glory days of 70s, 80s, 90s sitcoms. It brought some of those into a contemporary format. And while not always perfect, and while not always it retread some of the same ground that some have done, it definitely took some swings and knocked them out the park with what they did also. And
I'm not mad at that. I mean, it wasn't something that I was just watching. I honestly ended up watching Grownish more than Blackish.
That could be your
demographic.
age. That's your age, your demographic. I can't necessarily blame you. Like that's you still, because Blackish was what, 2013?
Like 13, yeah.
13-ish. And so yeah, you're smack dab in your preteen teenage years. So I can't necessarily
when
hold
came
that.
out, I was like 10 out of 10. But
that was supposed
to be Blackish though, but you can't deny it. Blackish is really good. Blackish is really good. That's
Blackish
one of those shows
was
I
like
can
the
put
last,
on and just watch.
It's like the last one. That's the bookend, unfortunately. There hasn't been anything. And like I said, like I said, this is not to take from your first back to the beginning. Abbott, like I said, Abbott, I don't count that as a black sitcom. I love Abbott. I enjoy it.
But
it's
black aspect.
It's multiracial.
Black people in it, but it's more, you're right.
It's not black. It's very black, but it's not like this is a black show. What any honorable mentions for you, sir?
Yeah, man. I most definitely throw Living Single in there. I think that's a great honorable mention.
Shout out J. Ross. That's one of her favorites.
Man,
my homegirl J. Ross.
Love Living Single, man. The cast, 10 out of 10. The cast is great.
Cast makes everything. Cast really makes everything.
For black sitcoms, yeah.
Would you consider, and this is just me asking, because I just saw the trailer for the documentary that's coming out, Different Strokes. Do you consider that a black one? Or is that one along the lines of Abbott?
I think the way it's revered in culture, I think we kind of have to put it in black sitcom.
I don't know.
Because of how black people treat it.
good. I don't know if like I think that's closer to Abbott than
I do now. Do I agree with that
quote
statement?
unquote the
Yeah.
line.
I do think it's closer to Abbott, but I think the way black people treat it like a black sitcom.
I'm not holding that against anybody. Like
Yeah.
it's that show is literally half and half to an extent, half and half. And shout out to a young Janet Jackson on it. Let me my honorable mention is the show that built Twitter, probably Scandal.
Woo.
But then again, I don't know if I'd call that again. I don't. Yeah, I might not be able to consider that one. That's not a black
No.
show. Black
Even as
lead,
much as you,
but it's not a black
I'm
show.
telling you, I don't care what anybody say. I could quote Eli Pope right now going into the White House. The man has undeniable monologue skills that I've ever seen before. Him telling Fitz, you are a boy.
That's classic. Yeah,
Good
but
Lord.
I can't count that one. Yeah, no, by my own rules.
I'm
If
gonna
I,
say what I will. I mean, I know neither of us put it on our list, but we cannot forget what I feel like is the grandmother of black sitcoms, which is Good Times.
you either love or hate Good Times.
Yeah. And but I feel like the people who hate it don't hate it because of how good it is. I think they hate it for the representation it gave.
Yeah, yeah. Good Times is one of those you definitely have to look at through the lens of the time period.
Yeah,
Um,
because it didn't age well in the sense of this couldn't have been the only way they wanted to portray us.
right, right. But yeah, when you understand time period, what it was, what like all that. So let me ask you this before we get out of here. Oh, once again, let us know who had the best top five. Right, not even a question. We should make this a 2-0 battle. If we're keeping tally. But so it's clear we are in a different space now.
Yeah.
Do you foresee a black sitcom coming back?
I mean, don't you have some attempts? I think the Carmichael show is a acquired taste. Um
That was
I
good. It was a
I
sad.
like it.
It's sad it didn't last longer.
Yeah, it didn't last long. I mean, I think you have ones that are like on Netflix that just go straight to streaming, not hitting television at all. Um like the Upshaws. I haven't really watched it, but some people say it's really good. They
My
kind of
wife
like it.
watches that. I just
You know, I think there's an attempt for a revival at black sitcoms, but I don't know what it's gonna take because the beauty, like you said before, the beauty of black sitcoms for the most part is the bridge and the gaps.
it's here's the easy
And
answer. No, it's not. I don't think you'll ever Blackish will I think will probably end up being the last one. Because one, they don't film in front of live studio audiences like that anymore. Like
ooh,
that,
that's
that
a
is a
real
crucial part
beauty.
to hear to whenever
Not
somebody's stepping
laugh
on the screen,
tracks,
not laugh
actual
track,
people
like that
laughing.
is a
That's
in the
cool.
sitcom realm at least.
Right, right,
But yeah, there's too many channels. It's the same problem with music. There are too many avenues. There's too much stuff for you to consume, and honestly, a lot of this stuff there's no reason to go back. We love a lot of this stuff because we watched it over and over and over.
right.
I can quote
And we
Fresh
talked
Prince
about this
because it was on every
before.
afternoon after school. Like,
Yeah, we talked about this before.
yeah.
Rewatchability. Like, am I really gonna want to go back and watch this after I've consumed it once?
Well, not even necessarily. I won't say it. I won't necessarily call it rewatchability because, to be honest, I don't know if you drop Martin, Fresh Prince, whatever now that it has the same watch. Part of it is simply forced rewatchability because of nothing else.
Oh,
Like part of it is like it was good enough to enjoy and like, and then because it, I think the rewatchability helps. Like we love Fresh Prince that much more, or Martin or Cosby or Different World that much more because to this day, 30 years later, they're still constantly on the television. Um,
true,
like
true.
you don't see black sitcoms or what you don't see black shows from the 2000s in repeat like that. You don't see them from the 2010 and there's not that many to pick from period. But you don't see these shows on Bounce, TV1, TBS,
Nah,
MTV like that. Like there is a reason why these shows are still the ones that are constantly on repeat over and over again. Here we are 30 years later and I can go turn on my TV tonight and catch some Fresh Prince without having to put in a DVD or go to Netflix or wherever or Peacock or wherever it may be streaming.
True, true. I agree with you on that. And I know we getting up out of here, but I just want to say, The Office is the greatest sitcom of all time.
To be honest, I've never watched all episodes of The Office. I've seen episodes. I have not watched all episodes. Like I've never sat and just like I'll catch it sometimes when it's on, but I have never like gone to Netflix and watched The Office.
I've watched The Office at least. And I'm not even talking about like the deleted scenes episodes. I've watched The Office at least 10 times now. The
I ain't that mad
show,
at it. I ain't mad at it. Like it's a good show. I just haven't consumed it all. That's just me.
The
That's
Office is
just
10 out of 10.
that's just me.
What would you put up there as one of your greatest sitcoms of all time?
Across any
Across any.
greatest of all time, I honestly, it's that's a hard one to make because like I want to say different world just because
Yeah, I mean, and I figured it would be something from the. I'm no offense to anybody, but the stuff that was coming out, a different world, it's different. Like,
like and then I'll add on to the fact that I shared that experience. Like it's not just I'm watching it and enjoying it. I
yes,
watch it and understand on a level that you only understand if you went to an HBCU. And then to know that essentially a lot of that is patterned after the experiences I shared on my HBCU, because shout out to Debbie,
here we go.
and her
Here
bringing
we
her Howard
go.
experience to the show. So what you when you're watching Hillman, you're watching Howard. You know, for all those who like to hate us because they ain't us, they love us because we everywhere. And that's a good note to get out of here on. Y and Z conversation between the generations. Let us know who got the best top five. We'll put them up. Youngblood's top five. Stop at. But then you
I
got
know
like
I got some
the
Mavericks out there.
heavy hitter.
Don't
The heavy hitter.
conform to his really good shows.
You don't need to conform. When the facts are in your face, don't pull a Trump. Because that's my my crowd is bigger. No, sir. No, it's not. Look at this top five. No, it is not. It's good.
Bro
It's
said
good. But it's
more
not.
people here than Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech.
I have a dream that you will like, share, and subscribe to our show. Help us grow. We appreciate you for tuning in. We'll be back next week to do more of this. You never know where we're going. Like I said, conversation between the generations. Y, J Clark 787. That's Z, the young blood, Xavier Lewis, the real Lewis brand. Stay safe out there, bro. Watch some good stuff. But you got good taste, so I trust you. And until next time.
Peace.